Like I had a fight against Uriah Hall scheduled for the UFC at one time, and I caught like a back spasm that wouldn't even let me stand up straight. So that was the only fight I pulled out. But the UFC ripped my contract, and I ended up finding my way in the PFL. But that was God's journey, and I'm blessed because if I would have took that UFC money, I would have blew it, and I would have still been looking for some paper today.
Yeah, and you got $1 million off of that, right? So blessing in
Yes, sir.
disguise. By the
Yes,
way, right?
sir.
Because I tried to ask some other champions about like winning $1 million, but it's so recent for them that I think that I don't get the best answer. I'm actually very curious if you could like tell me any details. Like, kind of like, does half of it really get taken off, or like what's kind of what do you get off of that from the beginning? Because it's a
I
million,
mean,
but then people
you
think
make
that you might get
money.
like half a million.
No, you got to pay your taxes. But however you finesse or pay Uncle Sam, that's your business. Um, if I made that same million today, I would be smarter than I was 4 or 5 years ago. Again, because a lot of people, you dream about $1 million, you dream about making money, but you don't prepare yourself mentally and financially to handle the money and to know how to, you know, to actually know what to do with the money. And then the minute you get it, you get a bunch of voices all in your ear, phone calls, text, man. Now everybody and their mama want to tell you how to spend your money. And then you got to look at people like Wesley Snipes, who's sitting in a slammer for tax evasion. So it's a lot of happiness, but then there's a lot of stress. And then you also, me being a black athlete, I look at other athletes, Mike Tyson, people who blown 800 million. So, so I'm just thinking, how the heck can I make this money do the most for me as humanly possible? And beyond paying taxes and buying a house, I didn't even touch my money probably for, I don't even know if I have yet, honestly. But, not for a while.
Okay, so you haven't really invested it other than buying a car and a house.
No, I didn't even buy cars.
Oh,
I
what'd
didn't
you say?
buy
You bought a
cars.
house
I
and
started in taxes.
oh, taxes. Right, right.
Paid my taxes, paid my manager, started a company out of Turkey. Um, that went under during COVID, started another business that was successful, closed that business last May. And anything I purchased, you know, I went that route. I didn't try to spend my money. I invested it, and I'll touch that money when I'm 65 or whatever the retirement age is.
Gotcha. So yeah, definitely investing is a smart choice, right? Because even if it just sits in the bank, I hear that like with inflation and stuff like that, you're kind of losing
Right.
money.
Yeah. I mean, again, you can. You know, I even wish I wouldn't have paid off my house. When I look at the current interest marks, and I got a new home, but now I have multiple properties under my belt as well. But if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't even pay it off because you got to think back then the interest rate was 3%. Now the interest rate 7%. You fight somebody to get a 3% interest rate. So in that retrospect, it was a bad move. But at the time, I looked at every monthly payment in interest. And plus, when I purchased my house, I purchased it with a PMI. I wanted to get rid of that. So I felt like not wasting money paying off mortgage debt a certain way was the best route. But now I'm a little bit smarter than I was back then. But again, like I said at the beginning of the question, you don't know how to spend your money until you have it, and you don't make those mistakes until you have it. So if you're planning on getting rich, first learn how to spend your money before you get rich.
Yeah, or at least right once you
If
get
you
that
want to
money,
keep,
if you get that money first, then
yeah,
at least try
easy
to
to make,
invest or learn how to
hard
invest.
to make, easy to lose, fellas.
Yeah,
Hard to
facts.
make, easy to lose.